All right, so I was thinking, why not just make a quick short animation of this, which we can like maybe post to social media and stuff like that. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do, the first thing we're gonna do is that we're just gonna be locking camera to view so we can like get an idea of what sort of camera angles we can have. And so I was thinking of maybe doing something like this, like a reveal sort of thing, which can like reveal the name of the perfume. And another shot that I was thinking of was like a close-up shot of the title of like the label, like that, something like that. And for that, what I'm thinking of doing is we can actually add a normal map to this, which is going to just make it look a little more realistic. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to basically go back to my shading tab, and we must have like some normal maps. I'll see if we have some normal maps in our scene. That's fine. Otherwise, what we can do is we can just get one from the internet. So let me change the material. Let me actually call this material label for now, just so that we can like know which material it is, and so we can come back to it. So what we can do is we can maybe you know what we can do, we can basically go to Blender kit, and we can search for leather, because I'm looking for a leather normal map, right? Something like this. So just add this material, right? We're not going to be using this material. What we're going to be doing is that we're just going to be quietly stealing these two textures. We're just going to be copying them, and then we're going to change our material back to the label material and just paste it. Oops, my bad, didn't copy properly, I think. Right click both of these, copy. It should work. Paste them like that. Perfect. So now with this, what we can do is we can just plug this into the normal part of this. And so apparently we lost the, so for some reason the UVs are not working. I'm not sure why. Let's go back. Let's undo everything and see what happens. Okay, so this is fine. If we change the material to the leather one, I don't think that's imported yet. Let's go ahead and import it again. Okay, if we import this material and we select both of these, actually we can select this and also shift select this as well, so that we can get the mapping nodes as well. Right click any of them and press copy, go back to your label, and it's obviously it's for some reason it's flipped, so we can just flip it back. It's not a problem, but we can just paste everything and make sure to connect the vector node to this like that, and then connect the normal map to the normal channel of your material. So now what's going to happen is, if you notice very closely, that we basically have sort of like a leather look to this, and you can also increase the strength. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be decreasing the value of the scale, which is going to make the texture larger. So if I set it to something like 0.6. Also, one quick tip for you guys: if you change each of these individually, it's obviously going to take a lot of time. So what you can do is you can click one of these and drag it down like that, and then you can just change any of these values, and it's gonna apply to all of them. 0.4 apply to all of the channels. Okay, so I think this should be a good value. Maybe it's a little too big. I think 0.6 was the sweet spot, but that's fine. Then we can go back to UV editing and just flip the texture once again. So what we're going to be doing is that we're just going to be pressing A to select everything, and we can scale it down, but then we can only scale it in the x-axis, right? That's what we're supposed to do. So that's why it's like, so it basically just scales down and it reverses basically in the x-axis. And you can just press type -1 on your keyboard just to set the value to -1, so that we maintain the aspect ratio. Then you can just rotate it like this, 180 degrees. Again, type 180 on your keyboard, and it is back to normal. Perfect. Let's go back to layout mode and let's see how visible this is. The leather material, it's not that visible, but you know, when we're doing like a close-up shot, like the minor details, they make all the difference. And so something like that should be good. Yeah, perfect. So now let's start with the animation. So what I'm going to do is that the first shot could be you can maybe do like a cap shot. Actually, no, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think there's a point or two in that. Honestly, this can be like the first shot, something like this, just panning up. Yeah, because this looks pretty good, honestly. Let me start from here. So just go to your first like starting position, open up the timeline, and just press I. Make sure your camera is selected, by the way. Camera is selected, and let me just get it out of all the folders. Let me bring it back to the scene collection, so that we can just look at the camera. without any disruptions. Press I to add a keyframe, location, rotation, scale, and just make sure to drag this keyframe to the first frame of your animation. Go to frame number 60 or like any frame you want, and I'm just going to be moving it up like that. Press I, another keyframe, and right click both of them. Basically make sure both of them are selected, right click them, and change the interpolation mode to linear. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Again, animation and like what shots to animate, that's completely your choice. So I would recommend you to do some trial and error, or like if you don't like what I'm doing, then that's perfectly fine as well. Let me start this shot from here. I to add a keyframe, go forward in time, 120 should be fine, and then rotate it like that. I to add a keyframe, and perfect, looks pretty good. Again, right click them and change the interpolation mode to linear. This is too fast though. I should do something like 160. Yep, pretty good. Rosemary and sage, and then what we can do is we can have like a plant reveal, something like that. Should start from somewhere there. I had to add a keyframe, move forward in time, and then change it to this, position to there. I had to add a keyframe again, and yeah, looks pretty good. Change the interpolation mode to linear again, and you can see that it looks I think this shot looks pretty decent. I wasn't expecting it to look this good, but yeah. So maybe this is a little too fast too, so change to 240. And then for like the final hero shot, also make sure to increase your timeline length, because we are going to need more frames. Just set it to something like 400. Let's go to frame number 241, and this should sort of be like the hero shot. So I'm going to start from there, press I, go forward something like 340, and set it to the last position that you want it to be. Something like that should be good. Press I, and yeah, let's play the animation once. Let's go to our viewport mode, just so that we can see the animation smoothly. Okay. Yep, I think it looks pretty good. Perfect. The last animation might be a little slower, so I'm just gonna set this to 400, like the last frame, just so that it goes a little slower. And I think it looks really good, the animation. Let's see. It's pretty good. So now what we can do is we can just simply go ahead and render this, because I think we're basically just done. So for that, I'm just going to go to the output properties, set the output location. I'm just going to go to desktop, go to course anims. Let's create a new folder called perfume. And with this, I can just accept it. Go to your frames and set the frames to something like, let me actually do a frame test. Let's see when it starts to become decent looking. Turn off the noise threshold just so we can like see how many frames we need. So look up there, and I think something like 300 frames might be good. Yeah, now you can really my bad. If I unlock the camera to view and I zoom in, now you can really see the difference that the normal map made to this. You can see that it's like sort of rough, and I might want to increase the roughness a little bit, just a tad bit. Yeah, this looks better. Just set it to something like 0.35. Yeah, that looks more realistic, you know, because leather is usually not that shiny. Yep. Let's see how many frames we need. How many samples? I think 300 should be fine. Yeah, 300. So just go to your render settings, set the max samples to 300. Make sure you're changing it in the render settings, not the sampling. Oh, sorry, not the viewport. And then you can just go ahead and click render and render animation. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we're basically done. It was that easy to create an animation, and I really hope you understood it. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me.